Welcome, Montgomery Fire Rescue. I just want to take a moment of your time to kind of give a little bit of instruction on this next accreditation assignment that's coming out this week. It's the Community Risk Assessment for Fire. All right. So what this assignment is going to do is going to use the list of structures that you pull from New World and organize into the shared files. A lot of guys worked on that. You did a great job, and I appreciate all your efforts. Since that time, I've organized all of those structures into a workbook that includes all of this, every structure for each planning zone. With the exception of Station 10, all stations have a dedicated planning zone responsibility. When we're done with this sheet, we'll have a comprehensive list of all the structures with detailed fire suppression factors for each of your territories. How's this going to help us? Well, for one, we'll be able to have a list of target hazards for each zone, which will allow us to have pre-planned routes for things such as rapid damage assessments. The officers and the incident commanders will have a quality set of building-specific intelligence when they arrive. Quality universal map books will be generated. We'll use this information and be able to put it in both print and digital form. We'll organize all that information and feature it in our standards of cover document that we're currently building as part of our accreditation process. We expect that document to be complete this coming October. All right, so what do I need from you? Well, frankly, I need you to assess the buildings in your territory. We've organized a list of the structures that are in your territory, and we've built a template, but the data for each building is not there. That's what we got to do. That's our risk assessment. We got to look at specific things that we find important about our buildings, build that intelligence, and enter it for each structure. This is not a hard process. It is going to be a time-consuming process, but it's not anything that we can't do. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do in this video. All right, let's take a look at the sheet. All right, this is the intro sheet. This kind of gives a description of the project and talks about what makes up the components of each individual's area's sheets. Right here talks about what a target hazard is. This talks about the definition or of the two-axis risk categorization. This just gives a description of probability. Then right here you'll find a description of consequence. On this little chart to the right here, this just shows you where your building will fall in once you give the two-axis probability. And right here, everybody should know this, but if you don't, it shows you the difference between a Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, Type 4, Type 4, 5 building. It gives a description of each, and to the right, you'll see an image. And then down here on the right, there's needed fire flow. You don't really need this. This is just kind of an educational tool if you want to reference it. You see in our sheets, everything's got, every building has a tab. It's got construction type, whether it's a target hazard or not. If it has more than 3 floors, I want you to enter that number, 4, 5, 6, 10. Is it more than 10,000 square feet? Does it have a sprinkler? Does it have a standpipe? What is the estimated square feet? Probability, high, low, consequence, high, low, and the risk will auto-generate. Then we're going to put latitude, longitude, and quadrant, and I'll show you how to get that information. All right, first thing you want to do once you identify what building you want to class or categorize, you're going to go into New World. You're going to open up Buildings. You're going to click Area. You're going to select all the quadrants for your planning zone. In this example, we're going to use Station 9. So I'll go down here. I'll highlight 9E. I'll press Shift. Go back up to 9A. I'll select all of them and move them over. Search. That gives me a list of all the buildings, but I don't want all the buildings. In this case, I just want to do fire station number 9. So I know that fire stations are dormitories, so I'm going to search for dormitories, and there it is. When I open this up, I'll see all the information that's already generated in there, mostly by codes and standards. I'm going to click this button. When I click this button, it's going to open up. See, when I open this window, I have the option. I have a button here for map. When I open this map up, I can move this cursor around to where the building is, and it's going to give me the coordinates there on the bottom left of the map. And that's the coordinates that I'm going to use to transfer to my spreadsheet. You can also see down here further to the left, it says 9A, 9B, 9C. That's your quadrant. So you're going to want to copy that number and move that over to your spreadsheet as well. All right, so now that we have that information, let's look at our sheet. Let's do a risk assessment on Fire Station 9. Construction type. We know 9 is a non-combustible, so we put 1 as a target hazard. Yes, it's a government office, so it qualifies. Does it have more than 3 floors? Nope. So we leave that blank. Is it more than 10,000 square feet? Yes. Does it have a sprinkler? Yes. Standpipe? Yes. And we're going to give a square footage estimate for one floor of the building. Fire station number 9 is about 18,000 square feet, so we'll enter that. And you see when we enter that one floor square footage, it gives us a fire flow estimate of 100%, 75%, 50%, and 25% fire involvement. All right, now we're going to come back into our probability. Anything that's suppressed or non-combustible, it's a low probability. Consequence, government office, it's going to be a high consequence, and you see that gives us a high risk. If we change consequence to 1, which doesn't apply in this case, it'd go back to and change the risk to a low. But 9's a high risk. All right, let's look at latitude. So since we already copied that information, we can go ahead and enter it right here. That's your latitude, and then your longitude goes right here. And this is important. I'll use this for mapping down the road. And then we know this is in quadrant 9C. So we enter that right there. And that's it. You got any notes, anything that you found, errors or you found about that structure that you would enter in the notes section. But other than that, that's all it takes to do one structure. If you got any questions, comments, you need help, you can contact me anytime. That's my phone number, that's my email. You can also, if you can't get a hold of me, you can ask Chief Collier. I think we put a deadline on July 20th, so we need all these structures to be done. By then, we need the captains to lead that process. I don't want to have to beg you to do it. You know what needs to be done. Make sure it gets done for me. I appreciate all y'all's hard work so far. I know you do a good job on this. All right, fellas, stay safe. Have a good shift.